this subject of all subjects is bringing up topics that I apparently talk about on my channel a lot. Since I do talk about people's mentality and the type of narratives that they push in their videos, I'm going to be expressing like how her video is coming off when I see her pushing forward certain ideas, okay?
In and out of sleep.
In and out of sleep.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Good. Oh, Me Too movement.
Hashtag me too.
Okay, so I'm extremely confused right now. I don't know what is going on. Are these them? Did he do something to her? Are they undercovers? So, like, right now, she's making it seem like he assaulted her. That's how it's coming across.
The past couple of days have been filled with just a lot of manipulation, in particular manipulating my own words against me to make me do things that I don't want to do and I don't feel comfortable doing. Nikocado Avocado using his platform to threaten me and to bully me. At this point, my home safety is kind of in question.
So far, it seems like she's basically like, she's starting off insinuating that he's a monster. Like everything she's said so far is that this person is like really horrible. So I don't know what he did yet. But whenever she explains it, it should be a very egregious action, or else what she's saying right now is an overreaction and it would make her the manipulator. Just like with the James Charles versus Tati situation.
I feel like I've been manipulated by fear, that I can't say no to him. I just want to take back my power to say no, not feel like someone's holding this thing over me and threatening me. Constant, just over and over again, twisting my words. I just feel like it's necessary, and I'm only going to be using conversations that have to do with this matter of my safety, my security, and the way that he's been threatening me. I just want to read to you guys some definitions because I feel like I didn't know what was happening to me. And I wish I had known what the true definition of these things were, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe I could have prevented it, maybe I could have stood up to him, maybe I could have said no. So mental manipulation is when people seek to exploit things that are the foundation of relationships, such as trust, understanding, and mutual respect. They use your words against you to make you do something you don't want to do. Two is that
I can see why everybody's bringing up psychology, and it's because she started off with psychological definitions, talking about, for one, she brought up the Me Too movement, showed something that looks like an assault case that might be involving her. It didn't really look like the guy though, but I can't tell. And so that's a whole psychological thing. And then here she's defining mental manipulation. So there's a lot of psychology going on. So the question is she bringing up this subject appropriately, or is she misappropriating it? So I can't go on either side until I hear what she's saying. If she's telling the truth, then she's just jumping ahead of herself. If you do the whole like little innocent teary-eyed thing, people eat that up. But if you didn't, like if you're falsely accusing someone of something, then right now this would be priming your audience into giving you favor over your opponent. Because like one thing that I just think was a little bit iffy, I will say that much right now, is that she said, I didn't know what these words meant. I wish I had known at the time. And mental manipulation was one of them. Like context clues, how do you not know what mental manipulation means? She looks like she's old enough to know what that means. It's like too innocent. It's kind of like you're trying to make it seem like you're so innocent. You've never manipulated anyone ever before. You don't even know what the word means. You get what I'm saying? I can't get with that. Maybe she really is just that dumb, but like, how do you not know what it means?
you might be experiencing something like it, so I'm just going to leave those linked below.
And she's like, oh, here you go. If any of you don't know what it means here, like she's now just like helping the masses learn what manipulation means.
That was kind of when Nick and I had our first interactions on a personal level through Instagram DMs. Not too long after, he asked me if I wanted to collab with him. I remember specifically being transparent with him and letting him know I don't want to collab just because I feel like the drama is too fresh. He came to Los Angeles and he had asked if I wanted to collab, and for other reasons I turned him down. I still feel like I want to meet him in person. You know, if he's in LA, I also felt like I turned down people. I was like looking.
I don't know what
So
she just said.
I had set up this dinner with me, Zach, and Nick at Hot Pot. Immediately when I met him, I could probably say that I was kind of taken aback by how comfortable he was. He just kept saying, like, yeah, that's online. You can trust me.
Hopefully you can trust me now.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
He even opened up to me first, which made me feel really good. I felt like, oh wow, he trusts me. And so I started opening up, and obviously the conversation did lead to Shipbug and Veronica. And Veronica and I have a very interesting relationship. Oh my gosh, she gave me a shout out, and I just replayed that part where she said my name over and over again.
Okay, so the girl gave her a shout out.
And she was always so encouraging. She always told me, you know, you're doing amazing. Like, don't give up. Like, you're doing great.
So she's apparently nice.
First time we met in person, And I can say that we have very different personalities.
This is why it's confusing. Everything that she just mentioned, she encouraged you, gave you a shout out, dyed her hair pink, and you said you two have very different personalities. That means that you don't dye your hair pink. That's not a personality trait. That's just you dyeing your hair pink. The other two is her encouraging you and being there for you. So it's like, are you just not like that? That's on her. She should have explained herself better because that sounds messed up.
I'm gonna go and share every little frustration, or share these little frustrations with him. It's nothing I would share online because I know how the internet works.
What frustrations? I don't know what frustrations she shared about the girl. She said, I'm gonna clear it up so no one twists my words, but she didn't say anything.
Like, even though I'm like thinking, I was like, wow, that was annoying. And I'm
okay, there's that. And she's like laughing and sniffling through it. But this is what she just said. She can't on a video because she wanted to dye her hair. Yeah, like people do that all the time. People are like, oh, let me dye my hair first because my hair looks washed out. So those are the only things she mentioned, that the girl was very nice, encouraging, gave her a shout out, and canceled on a video so she could go dye her hair first. Even though this girl has been canceling on the guy a lot, right? Didn't she mention that earlier? But notice how when she mentioned canceling on him, she's like, it's because I was scared. I was scared, I was scared, I was scared. And so she's just constantly canceling on him. But guess what? She's the one who set up the meetup. If you go back, you'll hear her say it. She said that she set up a meetup with the guy who she's been canceling with. So it seems like she was trying to lead him on to do collabs, and she's canceling on him. And then finally she's like, okay, now I'll do it because of whatever benefit it was to her at the time. So isn't that frustrating? But you're gonna get frustrated at a girl canceling once after shouting you out?
We stayed at Hot Pot till 2 in the morning, and he had made me feel so comfortable. And like I could trust him, like he understood me.
If you sit with someone for a few hours and they make you feel so trustworthy and comfortable, like what and why? What did he do? She's not saying anything. It's all like meant to be interpreted so far. You're just, because she already established he's manipulative, right? But then she's not telling you how he made her feel comfortable, so that you can't discern what's the truth and what's not. So all you can do is read into it and say, oh, he must have said manipulative things to make her feel comfortable. You get my point? That's the next step you're gonna take. So I'm still very on the fence of believing that when I see somebody start off a video with a bunch of like examples of priming, she started off her video the same way. Look at how scary he is. Look, Me Too movement, look. And it's like, but we don't know what's happening. And you're going to conflate the two and assume that anything he did that was innocent was disingenuous when she gave you no context to come to that conclusion.
I was assaulted in my own home. It was somebody that I had to let into my home, and then they took away my power to say no, and it's kind of just shattered any sort of security that I felt at home prior. And then after that, I left with a very warm feeling of just, hey, he's nice. In October, he asked me, are you happy with your home? I low-key want that security system. And I told him that I was very happy. And then he texted me back that night saying, yeah, what's the name of your fancy security system? I'd like to research it. Ha ha ha. At this point, I felt like he was a friend and I wanted to give him whatever help he needed in terms of security. He texted me asking if I was doing like this TV interview that was supposed to be about mukbang, and they had to reach out to me, and so I told him, hey, I was approached but I turned it down, are you doing it? And he said, I turned it down today too invasive of my home and potential safety issue. I didn't know what level paranoid I was at, so I feel better knowing I'm not alone, lol. Like this moment, I really feel like cemented our friendship because I felt like there was this one common ground that we shared. There was this one thing that
we bonded over, this thing, this great bond over this secret issue that we both shared. You two just agreed on something. It's like, oh yeah, okay. And she's basically saying, see, this is how he brought me into like this trust circle manipulation. I'm still waiting for her to make the accusation. That's why I keep saying it seems like, I think that she is, maybe, because I don't know what she's accusing him of yet. Whatever she accuses him of has to be something horrible. Again, for any of this stuff to be okay. Because if it's not that big of a deal, then this is all manipulation and everybody's falling for it.
And this is kind of when I first felt really uncomfortable because Nick said it very assertively, we're going to talk about Veronica and we're going to spill all the tea. And I was kind of confused because I was like, oh, whoa, what? And so I was immediately like, no. And then he went, but why'd you tell me yesterday that you wanted to then? I felt like I was comfortable mentioning shukbang, addressing it to the capacity of me and Nick. Yes, this is how we met, through a shukbang video, but we have no ill will towards each other. It's all over, we're friends now, you know?
Okay, so she brings up gaslighting before there's any gaslighting. Because the only time it's gaslighting is if he were to say that didn't happen. Like if he says like she never clarified with him, then that would be gaslighting. So if he ends up doing that, then okay, but she should have brought it up at that point. But she's bringing up beforehand, which again primes you to be like, oh, he's gonna gaslight her now, isn't he? Before she even gives examples of it, setting up this narrative. She said, yeah, I'll address it. Addressing something means like, you know, bringing it up directly. And here she's saying like, yeah, I guess, yeah, we can't act like it never happened. She didn't say any of the rest of that stuff that you just heard to him. Because that's why she was saying, yeah, you know, I'm like, every single time she starts talking fast and looking side to side and like moving her hands, and that's just her own thoughts. It's not something that she said. Every single time you see her like with an expression like this, that's the stuff that she's saying. Because she's putting herself back in that situation where she's like, yep, okay, yeah, I said blah, blah, blah. But then she starts going on these tangents where she's talking super fast, and all that stuff is things that she's admitting she's just thinking of. She didn't tell him that. If she had said that stuff to him, then it'd be up if on the video he's like, let's address the tea, because she already said specifically she didn't want to. I don't know, it's just, she's just, there's too many implications and not enough like context.
I felt like, okay, at least we cleared it up before the video. Like, at least now he gets it. He's a little upset, at least the video won't be weird. Then,
and now she just said he's a little upset. No, you said you felt like he was upset. Just because he's quiet, he's upset. And so once she puts it in your head, now she's just saying, he's a little bit upset that I didn't want to talk about it. And you didn't tell him you didn't want to talk about it. You specifically said that, yeah, you need to address it.
it seemed like he got more offended. He would look at me with such a shocked face. Like, I can't believe that you said you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, if you say you want to talk about something, people are going to be shocked when you're like, no. And so she's saying they twist facts. What are the facts, though? You left out so much context. She's been twisting every single scenario, conflating what she claims was in her head at the time versus what she actually said and what was in her head at the time. Because we don't know what was in your head at the time. You can say whatever you want, but what's coming out of your mouth is not what you're saying was in your head. So you should have been saying that stuff. You want anybody to believe you?
He started twisting my words, and he started saying things like, if only you guys knew what she told me. I would never tell you guys what happened because she shared it with me in private.
How is that twisting words? You see what I mean? Like, she's twisting, like, the situation. If you say, if only you knew what she told me in private, that's not, he didn't say what you said. That's literally, by definition, not twisting words, but you're accusing him of it, which is manipulative. They present themselves as someone who just wants to help. You've been doing that this whole video? Dude, she just did it a second ago. I want to give us all an out. And I pointed out like 2-3 times at this point. She's been doing it the whole video. You freaking hypocrite.
All I did was go pick up hair dye with her, you know?
All you did was not just go pick up hair dye. You admitted yourself at the beginning of the video that you were talking about her. Complaining about the fact that all she wanted to do was cancel a video. Someone who gave you a shout out. Somebody who was encouraging you. Trying to help you boost your career. And then you have the nerve to tell your whole audience right now and everyone watching, all I did was just go with her to get hair dye.
But you told me yesterday you wanted to talk about it. Then why did you say you wanted to talk about it? I guess she changed her mind.
And so when she says it to us, it's in this innocent way, like, she just peaks her audio. You know, I just have a high-pitched voice. But that's not what you said to him. You said you were complaining. I haven't heard a single complaint come out of your mouth. Tell us what your complaints were before we can assume that he has no right to bring anything up. And he said, this thing that she made you do, what did she make you do?
Somewhat of a mutual respect for me, my comfort, my consent to talk about things, it's just all gone. And so
if the trust is gone, and all that's left is respect, whatever that means, like, it sounds like you wanted things to go smoothly so you could continue to network.
He would use it and make an exposing video or threaten me with it. I don't know. I was just scared. Whoever I knew wasn't here anymore. It just felt like it wasn't the same Nick I knew.
She's being so sassy by posting obvious signs of him wanting to. Do you get how sassy that is? She's acting like she's super innocent, like, her voice is cracking. I don't know if he wanted to. And boom, 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 boom. It's like, you know he wanted to. That's just proof right there. You're just a sassy person. But she's legitimately trying to get you to think she's this innocent person. They will find a way to turn the truth around and work in their favor. But you weren't specific. You left everything open into interpretation. And when people do that, they always want you to feed in what your desired response is. When people leave things very vague and blank, which most YouTubers do, it's because they're never telling you their full-on opinion. They're just like throwing bones to both sides and manipulating you. When you leave it that vague, everyone's going to opt in what they believe. They're just going to project what their own personal beliefs are onto what you're saying. Okay, yeah, this is what's pissing me off. Okay, so what you just saw up on the screen is explaining that a manipulative person is going to guilt trip you so that they can shift blame or like avoid having to talk about what they've done. The person in the wrong is the one who's going to guilt you and shame you so that they don't have to talk about their wrong deeds. She's implying that this is talking about why a victim wouldn't want to talk about bad-mouthing someone behind their back, and that's not what's happening here. If anyone's using guilt and shame so that they can avoid a topic, it's her. Literally her. She's like, no, Oh my god, I'm ashamed, so that's why I don't want to talk about it. I talk about how I badmouthed that chick who tried to help me.
Because I felt like if I said, I'm uncomfortable or I'm scared or why did you do that, he would just get more and more increasingly angry with me.
Oh my god, do you hear her? Every second she keeps doing this. He's gonna get even more angry and more this and more. At no point did you establish he was angry. Even in the video clips, he doesn't seem angry. So why are you just accusing him of being angry? She's making it seem like he's like this towering like Hulk Hogan who's just like, are you gonna talk about it? And she's like, I'm scared.
And just be done with it. Because I don't want him to get angry. I don't want him to make a video using these words and trying to say all these things I said about Veronica.
And look at how her voice is going right back to normal. I'm sorry, so no. She's like, and I didn't think I wanted to do this thing, and I blah 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 blah.
Say about being uncomfortable, or I don't want this. It didn't matter because then he'd say, but you.
Then why did you tell me at your house you wanted to? Okay, again, it's like you are putting up with it to network with him. You're hoping that you can be the master manipulator out of all this and come out on top, getting away with what you did and networking. That is the only reason why you're choosing to stay. Because she's not oblivious to this. She said herself that she avoided working with him for the longest time because she didn't want to address how she was bad-mouthing someone that they both know. And so she doesn't want that to get out, so that's why she avoided networking. But she wants to network with him so bad because it would be so good for her channel. She's just like, okay, I think finally it's died down, so now I can use him for more clicks. And so now she's like, oh, he still wants to talk about it. And it's like, yeah, because you're talking about someone who they both know. That's what's happening. You're giving everyone a negative opinion of this person, so it makes it harder for them to work with people. They're just going to see her as an annoying person all the time. And then they're going to want to work with you more. It's like you're trying to take her spot or something. Yeah, if you're going to try to just break into the industry or whatever like that, then people are going to call you out on it.
I was talking to him in Korean. We weren't really talking about anything serious, but I just wanted to sound as if I had gotten the worst news. And so I hung up with him and, they both saw the conversation that I had. And Nick was like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, just a lot of really bad family stuff going on. I did this because I was so scared of him that I didn't even want to act differently around him. But at that moment, I was so...
No, you did that because you wanted to again play the victim so that he would leave you alone and you could still network. You wanted to be like, I'm dealing with family drama, insinuating a family member died or something. You see how she's admitting to everyone, I'm manipulating them, and I'm manipulating him, and I'm doing this so that no one can know that I badmouthed someone terribly behind their back who was helping me. And then you're trying to manipulate the situation so you can still be innocent and keep working with people and getting more subs and stuff. You can't have it both ways. She should be like, oh, I have to go. But she wanted to do that video with them, probably because she thought it was a video that was going to get a bunch of clicks or something. Even mentioning that drama, she knows that that's going to get a bunch of clicks. But if she has to cut it early, they might just not even do the video, and then she won't get her subs or whatever. So it's just like she wants to stay there and still be innocent. But at no point does she voice a concern. She just keeps implying stuff. It says if you ask questions or make a suggestion, an emotional manipulator will likely respond in an aggressive manner or try to draw you into an argument. And she keeps saying that he's like angry, but at no point has she given examples of him being angry. So she's showing it again, so you just assume he's being mean. Let's hear she finally gives us an example.
So I felt like that was a signal to me, like, get it together. And I was like, oh, he knows something's wrong. And so then because of that, I started getting more and more cautious, and I was like trying to make jokes, and I was trying to be, and I just felt like if I didn't make him feel like everything was okay, he would just get more and more angry with me. And so we filmed
He get angry.
the video at the end of the ASMR, because it was a whispering one. Nick turned to me, and he said, is there anything else you'd like to say? And I just remember feeling so gutted. Like my heart had dropped to the ground because I thought it was going to be another interrogation.
Are you gonna cry?
Thank you for watching us eat. And so I said, thanks for watching us eat this food. At this point, Nick is talking about, what are we going to eat tomorrow? And at this point, I'm really just trying to go home without angering him.
She said, I just wanted to go home without angering him, but at no point was he actually angry. So, like, what are you talking about?
There's no way Nick did not know that I was so uncomfortable for those 30 minutes because I was trying not to cry for those 30 minutes.
Again, he might be manipulative, like what he did, I think is manipulative, yeah. It's only not manipulative, but just like passive aggressive. If she was like, I'm gonna say everything, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, and then she's on camera and she's like, no, no, no.
It seemed like he was still the one that was upset with me. I had no right to be upset.
It seems he was upset with me. I had no right to be upset. Why does it seem? She keeps saying, it seems, it feels, it seems, it feels, it feels. I think I'm interpreting it, vague.
You're the one that said you wanted to talk about it. Then why would you tell me you wanted to talk about it? There was no, hey, are you okay? I know it got a little heated. You know, they both saw the conversation that I had. And Nick was like, are you okay?
There was no, hey, are you okay? And Nick was like, are you okay?
Like, I almost feel like I did tell him. Did I? I don't think that I would, but what if I did?
Oh my god, that is not a situation where you can play the whole, I had to question my own reality. Did I tell him? Yeah, you did. You said this yourself. You said, I will address it. I can't act like it didn't happen. And you and him both know that he's been asking you for a long time to talk about the issue. And at no point did you make it clear that you didn't want to bring up that part. You never said it. In your head, you're like, I feel like this. But you never told him we're not talking about that part. So you literally can't play the whole, he's making me question my reality, because as far as everyone knows, you kept it vague so he could read into it and said, you will address it. You can't act like it didn't happen.
What was there to talk about? It's not like he held me against my will to film these videos. I just can't explain this.
No, you just stayed to network.
What it felt like, and the only way that I've ever felt like this to any degree in my life prior to Nick was a couple years ago. And I vowed I would never find myself in a position like that ever again, where I felt like no really didn't have a lot of power, and I felt like it didn't matter.
Those two things have nothing to do with each other. They have absolutely nothing to do with each other. And it annoys me that with the Trisha Paytas video, she's like, oh, she's so by. No, she's using it. And there are people who do use their alt to their advantage. Most don't. And anybody who thinks that's an excuse to not believe when someone is confiding in you privately about something that happened. You know, if it's an influencer, you don't know them, just, if you don't know the truth or not, then don't go on either side and just be like, it could be true, it might not be true. But if someone's talking about it to you privately and they haven't told anyone else, for you to just be like, oh, well, some people lie, so everyone lies. More often than not, people actually have been assaulted. So my point is, a lot of people who do get it's like a genuine thing, but some people will use it to their advantage because a lot of people are sociopathic and narcissistic, and I talk about it all the time. So for you to just be like, I was assaulted before and I'll never be tricked like that again. This is a situation of you doing something wrong and not wanting to get called out on it. That has absolutely nothing to do with your fault.
That night I was really pushed into a really dark place that I never thought I would be in again. I had a breakdown, and it was unlike any other breakdown I had. It was one where I felt shame, guilt.
Is she gonna cry?
I did say, I talked about it. Didn't I? I don't know, you said I did. So I must have. And then this shame of, why did you even stay for the third video? Why did you even laugh with him? Why didn't you tell him, no, Nick, I don't want this. No, why didn't you tell him no? After everything that's happened in the past, I told myself
It's like she's making it sound like she's getting, you know. I mean, like, how did we get here, man? And I understand at no point has she actually addressed what she did wrong. She keeps making it seem like she's completely innocent. At no point has she just been like, yeah, I did something wrong, but... And the fact that she can't take accountability for it just shows how manipulative she is. If I do something wrong, I'm going to take accountability for it. All your fans are going to be like, she was assaulted, how dare you? She's a victim. You know, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. She's not saying nice things. She's being positive, but she's not saying nice things, okay? She's accusing people of some horrible stuff right now and comparing them to even more horrible things that are completely unrelated to her situation. So don't tell me I can't criticize her.
For some reason, the thought of texting Nick at this moment, because I had missed calls and missed text messages from him, gave me this, like I started getting very short of breath, and so I watched my...
Okay, why would you say for some reason? Again, she keeps acting like she's innocent when she's already explained that she knows why she's acting the way she is. You get what I mean? Like, I'm saying that by instinct, she tells people for some reason because she knows that that's an innocent thing to say. You should only be saying that when you're unaware of something. She just got done explaining that right after she went home, she had a mental breakdown. So no one in their right mind would ever say, for some reason, I was worried the next day. Maybe it's because you had a quote-unquote mental breakdown the night before. Are you really that oblivious? You're 24 years old and you don't have like some like severe mental issue where you just don't understand reality versus fiction or something. Like you have basic comprehension skills. You know, you're just so programmed to speak in an innocent way that even when you're not supposed to say those words, you say them anyway. Because you know the saying, for some reason, is more innocent than saying, and then I started acting like this because of what he did. That's just going to sound more drama-filled. You get my point, more negative. But if you want to sound positive, you say, for some reason. You read into why. I won't tell you. And that'll be more positive. And then I can avoid criticism.
My face, and around 3:20, I texted them, and I'm just going to go through just the whole thread of text messages.
So she's just like, I'm going in and out of sleep. I'm feeling really sick. And I realized I had all these collabs I have to do. I just don't think I'm going to do that. So she has all these excuses, and he's basically calling her out on it, like saying, come on, you're making up excuses. And he's like, you didn't like it when Veronica made up excuses not to collab with you. So it's like he's just calling her out on her hypocrisy. Like, just say what's on your mind. Because she is, again, doing the innocent thing. Like, if anyone's ever met her in person and you think that she's fake, you shouldn't be surprised. So when he says, I'm sorry, I do not understand, it's like, yeah, you're lying a whole lot, and he's calling you out on it. But now you're saying he's turning your words against you. No, you were being you see how these people play victim and they call you the user when you call them out on something? They're just like, oh, you said that I'm doing the same thing I criticize someone of. You're using my words against me. No, like in psychology, when you're turning someone's words against them, it's when you are, you know, conflating issues or making some sort of false equivalency. It's not a false equivalency though. So what she did is worse, actually. So he has every right to bring it up because he's like, you're doing something worse than you complained about her doing. That's proper criticism.
So no, I'm sorry. I do not understand. I texted him back. I'm so sorry for making you feel that way. I sincerely apologize. I was so drained and slightly out of it this morning, and I'm so upset I didn't call you back earlier because I would never want you to.
And then, like, this is what people do next. They just start apologizing. But they're still going to keep being their crappy selves. It's still manipulative because it's like, I'm so sorry. If I just apologize, then that will make what I did wrong go away, right? No, just call it out. Address it directly and be like, I don't want to talk about it. And she's still trying to network with him despite the fact that that's what he wants to do. People don't like that.
Because I would never want you to feel like I don't respect your time. Again, I'm
You're
truly
not
sorry.
sorry. You're not sorry because you kept saying that he was mean. You're telling us, the people viewing your video, he's being mean. He's being angry. I'm scared of him. I'm so scared of him. He made me feel like when I was assaulted. But you're going to sit here and apologize to his face and act all innocent as if, you know, you did nothing wrong. But you're painting a negative narrative about him to everybody as well while making yourself seem innocent. You get my point? Her apologies are insincere. It's manipulative. It's disgusting.
Out of respect for our developing friendship, I do want to be transparent and let you know I was uncomfortable.
Developing our friendship. You mean keeping this line of network open. That's it. You said that he broke your trust earlier. She said that. She said it was long gone, you know. Our friendship is over. She said that earlier, but now she's like, I want to keep this friendship open.
I mentioned that I wouldn't mind addressing you and me as it pertains to Shookbug, that neither of us had any hard feelings towards each other afterwards.
You were vague.
I've mentioned to you many times that although Veronica and I aren't friends, and I am hurt or annoyed by some things that happen between us, I have absolutely no ill will towards.
There's a difference between being hurt by stuff that happened between you and someone and being annoyed. If someone hurt you, that means that they did something like malicious to you or something that was like really bad. If someone annoyed you, that just means that, you know, certain things that they do just irk you for some reason. Like one is more intentional than the other. So that really makes me wonder, what does she accuse this girl of doing? Was like, you remember when she made you do this? What did she make you do? How did she hurt you? You're not saying any of that stuff, but you're saying, I have no ill will. I don't want any drama, even though I started all this and I can't finish it.
Then why did you tell me at your house that you wanted to address it on my channel? Also, why are you texting this to Zach? I messaged you privately.
So now she's showing when he finally said it. And in this context, I think that that's fine. Because she's lying to him. She's like, I didn't say I wanted to talk about it.
Again, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so sorry if I made you feel that way. I wanted to let you know because I didn't know that.
Again, people who apologize as much usually play the victim. It's like, I'm so sorry. Again, stop criticizing
There was a
me.
gap.
You're acting like you never said it when you did. Don't you see people do that slimy thing all the time? Where somebody's just like, if you feel hurt, if you know, I accidentally conveyed it to you as if it's your fault for not understanding what they're saying. No, that's what you said. Don't tell me that's not what you said. She's like, I'm tired. I'm going in and out of sleep. I didn't have time. I feel sick. I gotta do other stuff. I'm sorry. It was an accident. I should have gotten back to you earlier, but I'm just so sick. Oh my God, I stayed up late. Excuse. But you were talking to this other person during all your sickness, in and out of sleep, collab, business, whatever.
I didn't know there was a gap in understanding until the middle of filming the video. And to apologize for this morning, I truly am so sorry. I know that I impacted your schedule today, and I'm so sorry about it.
So it seems disingenuous. And again, when she's crying, she's like this mousy like voice, innocent voice. When people usually like their whole persona kind of changes when they cry. You know, there's like actual snot coming down. They're like, you know, like her nose isn't really all that red, even though she's apparently been crying the whole video. She's forcing sniffles, but her nose would be a lot more red if she was actually crying as much as she's been pretending like she is.
My miscommunication about the video because I didn't know there was a gap in understanding until the middle of filming the video.
As soon as she got them one tear, like they came out of both her eyes, but she gets them out and then she's like, yep, blah, 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 blah. Now she's done.
And he responded with, literally at any point in this conversation, you could have resumed with our videos planned for tonight. Please talk to me. Zach told me he wants to be left out. I reached out half a dozen times already. Please talk to me there.
You see how she's like blinking way more now? And her eyes aren't as wide? Blinking and her voice is back to being lower and blah, blah, blah. Because she got the tears out. She got what she wanted.
Literally at any point in this conversation, you could have resumed with our videos planned for tonight.
Use time to your advantage. In addition to unreasonable requests, the manipulator will often also expect an answer from you right away. No, he didn't. She avoided him for hours. It'd be different if she didn't talk to anyone. He's like, it's been 5 hours. Why haven't you talked to me? But he made the point, you're talking to someone else instead of me, but then acting like you don't have time to talk to me. So he's not using her time to her advantage because she's lying again.
And it says, I'm this effing close to making an exposing video. Should I? What the F is wrong with people? So rude, so self-serving, and inconsiderate. And then he posted a story with a black screen, making some tea, you guys. You won't believe the audacity people have, but I have lots of receipts and audio clips. Every time he texted me or called me, I feel like...
Oh my God.
And clips that he posted on his story, audio clips, I got alarmed because I felt weird about that. I never consented to any audio clips.
She's like, oh no, what if I did say it? Uh-oh. Then she's like, crap, I tried to avoid it and he got an audio clip of it. Dang. You know, so that's why she said she feels weird about it, because she doesn't want to say she feels like she's been caught, or else it shows she's manipulative.
These were illegally recorded, and this is where I'm going to get really angry for this part of the video, because there is no part of this video that I can stand by and say that I support Nick as a person. I'm just going to insert some clips here because I think when someone shows me a pattern of predatory behavior, I'm not going to not listen. I'm not going to ignore it.
Come on over, we'll hang out, we'll do our stuff, we can mukbang and then do stuff after. You know, it was not about just film with me, it was about like, we're gonna get it on. And they eat all your food and they leave and you're like, I wasted my time and I scrapped my... For this experience, I'm gonna bend over because, you know, like, I'm gonna give you what you want, or I'm gonna get what I want. And nothing happened. Waiting to get my action. Well, no wonder, dude. You're a loser.
I am in New York for a very limited amount of time. My time is important.
But you have to understand where I'm coming from, too. I'm clearly signaling to you, I am ready. You are here for to be ready. I'm not going to just grab it because you will come back and it's going to be the whole Me Too movement. Oh.
He's not here to be ready for you. Nobody is here to be ready for you.
I'm only going to be using conversations that have to do with this matter of my safety, my security, and the way that he's been threatening me.
Okay, so like this has nothing to do with what happened though. That's the worst that she could find of him in that video. That's why she put it up. And that's not even that explicit. Like, he explicitly said he's not going to touch someone. That's out of line. Because she's been painting this narrative as if he's going to assault her at some point, when there's just no evidence of that at all.
And it's not the little Me Too movement. How dare you discredit an entire movement that the sole purpose was giving people a voice who didn't have a voice. How dare you discredit the entire thing that saved so many people because you had a bad date in New York City. The little Me Too movement. Oh, no one's going to believe you.
Why are you changing the subject to this? Address what you did. Your math is getting out there that you're two-faced.
You're not weird that you live life differently now.
He was trying to get her to talk about the Veronica thing, the person she was bad-mouthing, before she met up with him and confided in him, right? So this could have been a whole calculated measure, actually. She could have been like, I'm gonna confide in you about how I was assaulted. And then that way, if you try to bring up that I was talking about her behind her back, that's my ace in the hole. I can bring that up, and then nobody will be even talking about how I was bad-mouthing someone who I was using for more clicks. You're the reasons why people don't want to believe victims when they come out, because you use it to your advantage.
The thing that
This is basically the video. Like, she ain't gonna say nothing more. Like, I'll look at the rest of it. Like, I'm just gonna skip through. But I know it's... You get the point. Like, this is stupid.
Joke. They can't take a joke.
I didn't actually end the video. I just abruptly cut it there. So I guess I'll just give some final thoughts and cut this off. Because I could talk about this all day. You know, and this comment sums up everything perfectly. I don't know who you are, but if you think that any video trying to explain manipulation, if you expect for that to be 5 minutes long, like, just get off the internet. Why do you even bother to get involved in any information whatsoever? 95% of the planet are positive and optimistic, or at least promote it, but yet drama videos get the most views. It's because they secretly live for it in the most disgusting way. They don't actually want to know what's right or wrong, have like more moral findings or like moral epiphanies or whatever. They don't take anything away from it other than, yay, I can justify harassing, picking on, ganging up on innocent people and punching them down. Fuck all of you.